everybody, Chuck and Glenn from the Link Lighting Lab today with something really, really super cool and new. You gotta see this, so watch, okay? It's a new transformer, DC current, but with a kick. Fill them in.
We hardly know ourselves. We just got this thing. It's got some pretty cool features. Number one, it's got a cooling fan.
I know.
So it's blowing cool air right now. It mounts like any other transformer. There's a mounting in the back. This is an aluminum, a brushed aluminum housing with cooling fins. So they want this thing to stay cool. Obviously, it doesn't really have a drop-down door. Now, here's one of the things to tell you right up front. I'm not real keen on. Well, no, it's really cool. It looks good when you put all this in. It tucks in. It looks like it was machined. Well, it is machined. But it does have, and Rod and I were talking about this, these little screws to hold it on, don't lose them.
Yeah, just thumb screws, but they go right on.
Well, they're a rolled thread screw. You'll never find another one. But anyway, that's a minor thing. Here's the cool parts of it. And let me lay it down, Teddy, so they can see. The control panel is on the top. And Glenn, you can kind of describe some of that.
Okay, so this is a 300, so there's 2 zones, okay? There's 150 per side, there's 2 sets of taps and commons in here. The way cool part, built-in dimmers. So each side has a built-in dimmer.
Ooh, the fan slowed down.
The fan slows down with it, right?
Yeah.
So it has a photocell eye and a digital readout here where you can set your on-off times if you don't want to use the photocell eye with built-in dimmers. So you got lights around the pool, you go outside, you're feeling a little
pool lights, hot tub lights.
You can lower the lights a little bit. Yeah. You can walk over, dial those babies right down. Nobody wants to see him naked, so the neighbors actually come over and dial that back.
That's all right. That's all right.
And but I mean that is super cool.
Yeah.
And again, DC current.
Now we want to show you guys the bottom of this thing because this is interesting, and we learn things all the time. We haven't had one of these out in the field or anything. We don't know. Nope. We're looking for somebody that wants to try one out. They're not cheap. It's what did I say? $380 for this. $380.
Yeah, but you know what though? With 2 zones, built-in dimmers.
It's got a lot of features. Got a plethora of settings.
Right.
Plethora of settings. So, but here's something interesting we're learning. Number one, when you try to dim the bulbs, we can dim them, but guess what? Now this thing puts out 13.3, 13.4 to taps. We did our voltmeter testing. When you get above 12, the lamps don't get any brighter. They sort of stumble, and
well, they really shouldn't. They're a 12-volt
lamp. Right. So remember that, 12-volt lamps, 12 volt. So you turn them down, but when you turn them up and put too much power to them, that power's got to go somewhere. Right. The lamp's got to defeat it, it's got to absorb it, it's got to dissipate the heat. So 12-volt lamps, 12 volt. Very interesting. The other thing we realize is that DC, there's not pluses and minuses going down the line. It's minuses down one line, pluses down the other. And so these taps are laid out accordingly. Now, we don't know what does and what doesn't, but we do know that there's some lamps or some fixtures or some equipment that responds differently to polarity, crossing the pluses and minuses. So this just reminds us, when you guys are hooking up lights, get them all phased in correctly. With all the polarity the same. Printed on printed all the way down the line to the light, and that way if you need to make a change, if you're using DC, even if AC, right, you can flip the wires around, you know where you're at. So
it's a good habit.
Yeah, it's a must habit if you're a professional lighting installer. Everything's got to be phased in, regardless of what anybody else tells you. I'm telling you to do it. It'll save your bacon one day. Mm-hmm. So we've got this thing. This is the first one we got in, and we'd love for somebody to take the plunge. It is way cool, and if you've got a situation where you need, it's got its own control, so it's overriding it with like a smart socket. I mean, you could do it, but I think it would generate some issues.
You don't need to. This has all the capabilities in it. I mean, they came around with this, and I said, I gotta have it. I gotta have them.
Yeah, it is very cool. I would like to have it. And by the way, in our little experimenting, we find out that most lamps will dim on AC but not all of them will dim on DC. So there's another thing, just a little factoid to keep in mind. All right, call us up, get the first one, $380. Give it a shot, then. Let's see what happens.
Right.
Oh, 10-year
warranty.
10-year warranty.
Yeah. Can't beat that.
Can't miss.
Right.
Thanks for paying attention, guys.
Thanks.